Today in the shop, we're going to be modifying my brake lines using Earl's Professional Flaring Kit. Because I installed Holley's high ram manifold with the inlet towards the back of the car, we're going to have to reroute our brake lines to go around the intake. Our plan of attack is to modify our existing brake lines and splice in 2 new sections. Earl's Professional Flare Kit allows you to do all the popular flare types: bubble flare, din flare, double flare, and single flare. When it comes to brake lines, the double flare is the most popular flare used in American and Asian automobiles. I picked up Earl's brake line kit and some double flare unions. We'll use the double flare unions to join our lines. First thing is to mark our existing brake line where I'll splice in our new lines. I then trimmed my existing brake lines using a tubing cutter. Make sure to use a quality tubing cutter like Earl's that has a deburring tool. It's also a good idea to put a slight chamfer on the outside edge to get a nice flare. Remember to install the fitting before you start your flare. We're using 3/16 lines, so we'll use a 3/16 die. Sandwich the brake line in between the die, close the setting tab, and while locking the die into place, push the brake line so it's flush with the tab. Fully tighten the die clamp bolt. Open the setting tab and align the turret to the 3/16 operation 1 with the tube. Pull the handle back until the punch bottoms out on the die, then release the handle. Spin the turret over to operation 2. Pull the handle back until the punch bottoms out. Loosen the die clamp bolt and remove the tube from the die. That's all there is to it. Earl's Pro Kit makes it easy to get professional results. I then mounted all the brake lines so I can get an approximate measurement for the new brake line. Earl's steel zinc coated hardline is easy to work with, especially with Earl's tubing bender. I bent a wire to give me a rough approximation of the bends that I would need to use and formed my turns with the bender. I then fitted them into place and marked them for trimming. Using the tube cutter, I cut my new brake lines and deburred them and flared them. I installed the double flare unions to trial fit my new brake lines. After confirming a good fit, I tightened all the fittings and used Earl's Adele clamps to secure them to the firewall. All that's left is to bleed the brakes. Learn more about Earl's products at earls.com.